I want to share something with you real quick. This is some work from Ruth Crick and her team at Learning Emergence. This is 15 years of research brought
Yep.
into a self-assessment tool. Was 35 questions long, similar to the Myers-Briggs. Then you get a spider diagram and a polar readout. And what's going on here is that it's assessing something called learning power. It basically just means assessing a learner's ability to have agency over their own learning. Unpacking like resilience and agency for them basically meant coming to these dimensions. Basically, you do this assessment and then it'll be a discussion with your mentor or teacher. And this is the kind of thing I believe could build a bit more of that metacognitive reflection. This is covering things like belonging. Do you feel a sense of belonging in your learning environment? And if you don't feel a sense of belonging, then I, as a facilitator and teacher, can help you feel that or find you the right peers. Do you feel optimistic about yourself as a learner going into this and into your learning? So this is getting there. And then there's other really important
simple scale at the bottom.
So right in the middle is open readiness, like the ability to do something and take action on it, but also like receptivity. The other far end of this is dependent fragility, where you're just like, I can't
tell me what to do.
Tell me what to do.
If you don't tell me what to do, I won't know what to.
Exactly. And then rigid persistence being more on the side of duocracy, and I'm just going to drill this thing because I believe that this is the thing to go down.
And I'm just going to keep going at that, hammer at it, and it might work eventually, but it's possibly not the most efficient way to do things. Got it.
Sure. Something optimal feels like here between open readiness and rigid persistence, because they have this like drive to do stuff by themselves, but they're also open to someone just suggesting a new way forward. But a tool like this seems to be in the right direction. Building metacognitive stuff into the learning experience. What's nice is that you can take the same assessment, but just before you do it, talk about what frame you want to think about it in and get different results. So if I...
of course.
You wouldn't just do it in isolation, you could, but I guess it's most powerful when you're in the presence of your guide, teacher, facilitator. And if I said to you, Tom, when you go through these questions, think about your way that you approach working in Hong Kong and like how much you are learning as a person in this team. Then you go through the questions, you'll get a different spider diagram to, if I say, okay, Tom, you're learning Python by yourself. Over here, how's it going? Just fill out these questions.
Definitely, it's frame dependent or context dependent. Definitely, I think an individual's self-assessment is really crucial to this, because ultimately what we're trying to do is build a learner's identity, or a sense of, I think, learning their patterns, noticing their patterns, and being aware of where they have natural sort of strengths and weaknesses and how they can develop those. And so that self-assessment part, I can't really tell how you feel. I can only notice your energy, and I can notice your contribution and sense maybe. And if I'm a very good teacher, I can sense whether you're feeling belonging in those things. If we can make the learner more agentic in their assessment of their own agency, that would be a really interesting thing to do. And I think joy is one of the things that we don't focus on enough. And you know it when you experience it. I know when I experience it. And maybe the fact that we don't focus on it in schools maybe that's because there isn't a lot of joy in schools. Maybe that's not about, maybe it isn't. But I think actually being in a state of joy is a really good yardstick or a good indicator of whether or not things are going well. And because pleasure is, I would say, is different from joy. What I think joy is a deeper sense of, there is a feeling of all the things coming together, the kind of the sense of self-worth, the sense of growth. You know what it's like when you feel that you're getting better at something, and it feels like a meaningful thing to be getting better at, a language or a skill, anything like that. And it really fills you up with excitement, and it lifts you up. And I think joy is that thing that learner joy would be really interesting. And then the thing about that that's nice is that you could just get people to notice how much joy they're really feeling towards this. And it could be just a simple question. Maybe they need a little bit of guidance on that. And then deeper dive could be into something like the Clara framework. I think kids don't expect to really experience joy at school or in most learning environments. Whereas certainly in the homeschool community, I see that people really, they only go towards things that they feel good about. And if you feel bad about something, you're not going to go towards it as much. So if you have any agency about what you study, you'll tend to move towards things that just make you feel good. What is it about those things? And I think applying the same set of questions or the same frame to different learning contexts would be quite instructive for you as a learner, wouldn't it?